Cyberbullying and beyond. How can we protect children from digital threats? Once again, Mr. Stanislav Kuznetsov, Deputy Chairman of the Executive Board at Sberbank, is joining us to discuss this matter with Mrs. Henrietta Fore, Executive Director, UNICEF, the United Nations Children's Fund. Mr. Kuznetsov, please, you have the floor.
Thank you so much, Alexander. So, our discussion today will be about cyberbullying. Cyberbullying and protection of children from the digital threats. This topic is very important. Children start using the internet, computers, and smartphones from early age. According to the United Nations statistics, more than 70% of children in the world are internet users. This is 30% of all internet users, and 95% of teenagers now have smartphones, and 45% are online almost all the time. The internet gives great opportunities to kids in education. It gives access to information, opens the door into the world of technologies and online entertainment. Yet, the virtual space is sometimes a dangerous place for the children. We meet cyberbullying, online harassment, violence in the net, phishing, and social engineering. And kids are the most vulnerable to the digital threats. They are trusting, and it is difficult for them to distinguish good from bad. So, it is our responsibility to protect children from any harm in the internet and beyond. Today, we welcome Madam Henrietta Fore here, the Executive Director of UNICEF, the organization that protects children, their rights and lives globally. It operates in over 190 countries. Madam Fore, it is a great honor for me to welcome you at Cyberpolygon. I have a few questions to you. Good morning in California, good afternoon in Moscow and in Europe. Hi.
Good afternoon. It's very nice to be with you.
My first question is, today when kids spend more and more time online, cyberbullying is becoming a real problem as it can impact the child's mental health and future growth. Spreading fake information, posting unacceptable photos of the victim, sending assaulting messages and threats, children can encounter such danger in social network, in messengers, or on gaming platforms. Why does it happen? Why do we know how to prevent online abuse?
So it's a really important question. And as you said in your opening thoughts, it's a very important responsibility for all of us as their elders. So children and young people have been using the online world to greater and greater extent. And it is certainly increased during COVID-19. And for many of them, it has been their lifeline. And particularly for adolescents, we see that it's part of their social network. So we cannot keep children away from it. And we don't want them to. Their world is going to be a world of online learning. And we want those opportunities to open for them. But there are risks, and cyberbullying is definitely a very large risk. And it's one that we should all be alert to, and to your point, try to do something about. So let me just differentiate between online and offline bullying. When a child is at home now studying and online, there are strangers, people that the child does not know, who can come into their safe place, their home, and be bullies. They also have offline bullies, often in a schoolyard, many of them peers, and these are known to the child but they can be very hurtful and harmful, and a lot of this comes to them on social media. So it's going to be very important for all of us to think about both online and offline cyberbullies. A second area is that one of the things that's happening with an online life is that many of the images are now quite permanent. They can stay there for a lifetime. So if you post pictures or if pictures are posted about you or comments, they can stay. So children often do not understand the consequences of what they are doing. And it reminds all of us as parents and teachers and elders that we have to encourage them not to say mean or disparaging comments about others, that they should be kind and supportive when they are online and with their friends. It's difficult to do, but our own actions in this regard will help all of us. It's one of the things that all of us can do.
Thank you so much. You know, some time ago, UNICEF made an anonymous poll among 170,000 teenagers and young people from dozens of countries. The respondents sent their answers through a special system of text messages exchange and data collection, so-called U-Report. More than a third of the youngsters admitted they were abused on the internet. What have you learned in such polls about children's experience of cyberbullying around the world? How can U-Report program help the kids?
So we have been doing these surveys, and one of the things that we find is that children and young people all around the world, when they are online, have many of the same habits. They are looking at videos, they're on social media, they're on instant messaging, they are looking for educational materials, they're learning new things. So we know what they are doing and where they are doing it. What U-Report is it's a online platform where we can ask children and young people their thoughts about what's going on in their world and what they are experiencing. Therefore, if they hear or see something that another young person is hearing or seeing in another country, they can learn that it's now coming into their country and that there may be perpetrators online that they should be very wary of. So it's a learning platform. We've used it in a number of contexts when Ebola was first coming out to make sure that young people alerted their villages and family members as to how they could stay safe, not to touch bodily fluids, etc. We also use it in times of disaster so that when roads are closed and mudslides or fires or other things, that you know where you can go that's safe. And in Ukraine, we have used it for bullying in schools so that we can both hear what children are hearing, but also we can hear about what their experiences are, how it's happening, how they're being approached. You know, all of us realize that there are ways that we could help, and sometimes we don't listen to the children around us. Their voices might be quiet, or they are not saying something. And so we're busy, we run off to work, and we forget to ask them how they are, how they're doing. It's very important to keep checking in with the children in your lives, because they will tell us, just as they do on U-Report, what's wrong in their world.
Thank you. Thank you for your answer. My next question is, with a lot of gadgets and the time children spend online, parents often find it difficult to support the child and understand his or her activity on the net. Do you think that we need additional actions from the government and internet providers? Can government regulations help here? And what business and corporate ecosystem can do?
So I definitely think that governments can help here. Governments, in fact, should be in the lead because they set the laws, they have the justice system, they have the rules and regulations that can help. If some sort of illegal activity is going on or if cyberbullying is existing, then the government and its guidelines set the pace. And as you know very well, corporations and businesses can definitely be part of this solution because they set the ethics and the mores of their employees and their families. So it will be a solution that all of us will need to come to together. There are a couple of very good international organizations that we often turn to. One is the Campaign to End Violence Against Children, and another is the We Protect Global Alliance. And they can be very good guidelines for how one can approach solutions, whether you're a government or whether you're a business.
Okay, thank you so much. So, in autumn 2019, UNICEF and the Russian government signed an important document, a memorandum of understanding that envisioned plans for developing UNICEF activity in Russia, exchanging knowledge and technical experience. What are your plans for future activities in our region?
Well, thank you for that. Yes, we're very excited about the prospects. So we did sign a memorandum of understanding with the Russian Federation. And let me just read to you some of the things that we're going to cover, because I think they're all very important and interesting. They're particularly focused in the Europe and the Central Asia region. We do not actually work within the Russian Federation. So all of these activities are in countries that are nearby or activities that are nearby. So it includes humanitarian and development work, maternal and child health, vaccine preventable diseases, including immunization, knowledge generation and education and communication in the Russian language, young people's agenda, and this one, I'm sure you know, young people are asking for more information when they're in secondary school about what kinds of jobs and skills they need to have for the future. They're wondering about their own lives. We also have an agenda on water, sanitation and hygiene, on HIV prevention among children and adolescents, and overcoming child poverty and supporting children with disabilities. But all of these, I think, will be very important. We're hoping to bring much of the expertise and knowledge that lies within the Russian Federation out to the world. One that I've been interested in is the Kaspersky Safe Kids. And so we're going to look for models that we see overseas that can be used somewhere, and also that are in the Russian Federation. So I think it will be a very good match.
Thank you so much. You know, my company, Sber, as a large ecosystem, recognizes the responsibility on the issue and has its own promotional and educational initiatives in protecting children in digital space. You know, I believe that potential collaboration between Sber and UNICEF could bring a great value both to the region and to the whole world. What do you think about it?
I like it. I think it's a great idea. When businesses weigh in, especially one with a large ecosystem that cares about children and their parents and the teachers of children, it makes everything work. So yes, wonderful idea.
I like it too. And finalizing our discussion, what advice could you give to children and teenagers who are abused online? What shall they do and how to react? And what shall their parents do? What shall parents do in this situation?
So as we just talked about a minute ago, part of it is just listening to our children. But be sure that you are asking them what they are experiencing online. And they will tell you, and sometimes you will see them crying in their rooms, or you will hear that they are frustrated with something that they have just read or heard. So be sure that you understand if it is something that is an illegal activity. If it is illegal, be sure that you get it to the police or to a legal authority. Often we as parents and as elders in their lives think that they will know when they need to turn to us, but they don't necessarily. And so we need to encourage them to go to a thoughtful, wise, safe adult and report whatever they are seeing or hearing. If they have approached one child, they're going to approach another 100 or 1,000 or million children online. Perpetrators online are growing exponentially. So all of us have to be alert and help. And there are also now a lot of helplines that are available. So be sure that you know where the helplines are, because sometimes young people are each other's best friends. And if one has used a helpline, they will pass on the knowledge of that helpline and they will get help. But it's going to be up to all of us. They are our future. They are our generation, and we need to look after them, but also open up the opportunities that the cyber world brings to them.
Madam Four, I thank you for this interesting session. We have discussed a lot of important issues. Children are our future, and it is obvious that we need to broaden international cooperation to protect them better. 3 years ago, Russia acknowledged the necessity to work in that sphere by signing the memorandum. And we also understand the need to increase UNICEF presence in this field worldwide. And let us continue this work. I hope that together we will be able to provide both the safe internet and safe future for our children. Thank you so much.
Very good. Thank you very much.